I only say this because it's a bellwether of how they're collapsing all over the internet, all over Twitter, all over Reddit, all over YouTube. It's everywhere. People saying, Alex Jones has been proven right. Oh, my gosh, everything he keeps saying keeps coming out days after he talks about it. What in the world's going on? You know, does he have access to WikiLeaks before anybody else? No, I don't. I do have sources, but I've also studied these people. And I know that the Secret Service at FBI and others told me that the Clintons and Obama are involved in occultic activity. And they made jokes out of it. He smelled himself and says, do I smell like sulfur? But why did they respond to that? Not because they thought it was discrediting, but because it scares them. They go after whatever is the strongest point, like they're the authority to psychologically then make us stop covering it. Oh, we got attacked, we better stop covering it. Well, WikiLeaks has released it, and as Assange said, what he's releasing will send Hillary to jail. He says it's the worst thing it can be. NYPD told Doug Hagman, who is popping in later today, he was on 2 days ago telling you this. We wrote articles about it, Infowars.com. WikiLeaks, sex crimes, blackmail, child abuse, and how you do it is via rituals, sex parties. Then the parties involve blood of children. That's how they do it, by successive approximation. That's how you're brought into a cult. I came within inches of getting into the mid-level of this. I've told people about this 20 years. I experienced it. Where, oh my God, I can't believe this incredibly hot girl wants to date me when I'm 14 years old. So he's 3 years older than me. Well, no, they wanted me in their cult. And then it happened repeatedly. It happened to other people I knew. And then bad stuff, people would die, you name it, ladies and gentlemen. And the richer the area you get close to, and you're right next to this, going to church, having no idea what's going on right next to you. That's what's happening. The WikiLeaks have come out with Podesta going to rituals where they drink blood and urine and semen and Baphomet and have effigies of children that they pour blood on. And they cut themselves. And they say it's Aleister Crowley, the worst black magic out there. Now, he was coming on to talk about the waterfront. We have Dr. Steve Pachenik, Doug Hagman, the Northeast Intelligence Network, that before it was in the news, said it's going to come out, abuse of children, you name it. It's tied into Haiti, missing kids, you name it. That's going to confirm. See, a pretty good source, huh? William Binney, former head of the National Security Agency, technical director. He's coming on. So all these top folks, including British ambassadors, say the leak is from U.S. intelligence. John Rappoport right now. Again, Roger Stone. So again, ladies and gentlemen, this is a historic time to be alive. I have just been absolutely poleaxed by this because I knew it was coming out. But to know they're involved in all this and to know it's even worse and to know that the word is WikiLeaks is going to release even more. And to watch how the mainstream media has lockstepped itself to this is unprecedented. Now, we're going to go to Rappoport to talk about this. He's not just a political analyst and writer and researcher for some of the biggest publications in the country. He also has written on these cosmologies that humans can envision and build incredible things, but evil people use this innate power, or made in the image of God, towards very twisted aims. And what do you make, John, from NoMoreFakeNews.com about the fact that it's all coming out, the occultism that they're involved in, the nastiest type? Crowley said sacrifice children. That was his big thing, as you know. You're an expert, I know, on this. You've written books on the subject. What does this signify?
It signifies, first of all, total bankruptcy of character. It means that these people are at the bottom of the swamp. That's where they live. That's where they think. That's where they plan. The idea of ritual, which, of course, you've covered for many years, starting with Bohemian Grove. Why? What's that all about? It's saying, I have no common sense, I have no rationality, I have no logic, I have no vision of my own. I have to participate in some incredibly demeaning, ridiculous, insane thing in order to hypnotize myself into thinking that I have some kind of power. That's what all these people are doing. And they're desperate to search for anything that some lunatic like Crowley proposed. Well, drinking blood, sacrificing animals, sacrificing children. This is the way to power. It's sheer psychopath insanity. And the fact that these people are thinking about it, planning it, participating in it, means only one thing. That's all they've got. They've got nothing else, and they want to drag everybody else they can down into that pit, and they want to blackmail them if they refuse to be drowned in that pit along with them. That's all they've got. They have nothing else. That's what we're talking about here, that level of insanity.
John, I love your truth. The way you just, it is such a pleasure to just, because I'm desperately trying to crystallize this for people. It upsets me so much today that I almost couldn't come on air because you're right. They're so fallen. They're so twisted. They want to hurt innocents. They hate God's creation. They want to bring us down. And the sad thing is they get people to join them who just want power, not realizing innately being good is the true stairway to heaven and unlimited connection to the infinite.
Exactly. Power is, good is, those things are connected. You know, they're connected for anybody with a few working brain cells. These people are at the opposite end of the spectrum. That's what we have to realize. That's what your listeners, your viewers, that's what everybody has to understand.
I wonder why they've always been so attracted to me. And I know they go after a lot of other people they see, they're up-and-comers, but they were always after me when I was a kid. And I guess they just want to recruit people they see as, that are strong and aggressive.
Yeah, because they feel like they can turn you to their purposes. And it's pure destruction. When you erase all the embroidery and so forth, what these people are about is destruction. You can't make any sense out of it if you're trying to make sense, because there isn't any sense. Do you want to go out and blow up a city?
No.
Do you want to go out and kill thousands of people? Of course not. But these people do. That's all they've got, to say it again, is pure destruction.
Look at the Al-Qaeda footage that was released to us exclusively on WorldNet Daily. And I said WorldNet Daily could have it. It was just so over the top. Plus, and of course, he had more gravitas to cover it than I did because he had the experts and had actually broken it. And it was Al-Qaeda, ISIS, cutting up dead soldiers and making people eat it before they kill them in a ritual to send them to hell. And I mean, that is pure Satanism.
Yeah, it's just the lowest form of insanity. It's not human. It's totally inhuman.
Why does this keep manifesting? And what do you think of it now coming out via WikiLeaks that Podesta is involved with a menu of blood and semen and placenta?
It doesn't really surprise me, Alex, that these people live where they live. They live right in that swamp. That's where they are. Because it's like you said, you get drawn into a cult by degrees. And then you discover, the further you get into it, that it's all about destruction. That's all it is. And at the heart of it are the most evil people who take pleasure from destroying other people. That's what they want to see. They want to see what it looks like for a person who is free, independent, and powerful to be destroyed by degrees. That is what gives them pleasure. People don't believe this because they can't conceive of it. But once you brush up against it, once you feel that or see that in action, then you understand. These people have gone over to the dark side completely because they were desperate. They had nothing else. They couldn't find any shred of creativity or logic or anything within themselves, and so they sacrificed themselves to become what they thought.
Powerful. NoMoreFakeNews.com. What an amazing day to have John Rappoport on with us to be able to chime in, because he is an expert on how these cults work and has written books on the subject. My fellow Americans, my fellow humans on planet Earth, there is an epic, legendary awakening of nationalism and populism happening from the Brexit to the Donald Trump phenomenon to Russia pulling out of the New World Order and arresting the bankster oligarchs. Humanity's will for self-determination and freedom is expressing itself. The great classical liberalisms of Thomas Jefferson and Francis Bacon are reawakening right now.